Hello everybody, welcome back to Wynn Playing Games. My name is Wynn, and this is Europa Universalis IV. Now, in this campaign we are playing as Tibet, and our major goal is to just dominate the Asian trade, while also protecting ourselves from outside influences such as the Oirat Horde, such as Ming, and such as Chagatai. Now those aren't the only threats either. Down here in... why do I always forget the name of this place? Down here in India, what will happen is some of the Western countries like England, France, Spain, those guys, can get a mission which gives them claims on all the provinces that border the ocean in down here in this place. I am so sorry, I keep forgetting the name of this place. India. I really should just stick a piece of paper on my screen that says this place is India. But at any rate, where we last left off, we just finished annexing Koch, and we begun coring this province to make it a rightful province of Tibet. And we also vassalized Kachar. Now there are some things that I would like to go over before we continue on. The reason why in the peace deal I changed the religion of my vassal Kachar from, I believe it was Hindu before, to Buddhist. It's because now, if we zoom in, okay, it doesn't look like he's working just yet. What happens is each province has their own religion. It tells you what the religion of the populace is. So for instance, this province of Kachar, which oddly enough isn't Kachar's capital, is Hindu. This means that their government is now Buddhist. So now what they can do is they can send one of this guy called a missionary to attempt to convert the population from Hinduism to Buddhism. Now doing that requires some diplomatic points, either diplomatic or admin. I believe it's administrative points you need, but since they're doing that, I don't have to spend anything doing that. And when we go and annex our vassal after 5 years, and if their relationship with us is good enough, we can just go and diplomatically annex them. If we go into influence actions, you can see the button called annex vassal. Now there are certain things that we need in order to fulfill this. Firstly, we need a royal marriage, which they were kind enough to offer to us. So let's get a royal marriage. We need opinion of their opinion of us to be above 190 or 190, and we need to have them vassalized for 10 years. When we do successfully vassalize them, they basically get annexed just like we annexed Koch, but without the need for war. So let's take a look. Chagatai has declared war on the Oirat Horde, who already seem to be being besieged by Manchu. So if we click on Oirat Horde and we hover over this flame here, we can see their current wars. So for instance, their war with Manchu, they are actually winning despite having a few provinces of theirs occupied by the Manchurian enemy. They are winning by 10 war score. And the war with Chagatai only just started. Do we have these guys as an ally? No, we don't, so they can't call us into war. They are still hostile towards me, so they won't even accept my alliance. Let's take a look to see how Ming like us. Ming really likes us. We have a royal marriage with them, which is great, because if they try to attack us, they will take a -2 to stability. So, our relationship with Bengal has improved. Let's go and recall them. And let's take a look. Bengal have 53 opinion of me. Let's see if they do not want an alliance. Just for giggles, can we get a royal marriage? They want a royal marriage, but we can't actually get one because we're not part of the same religious group. Now, religious groups are different to individual religion. For instance, in India, the main religions there are, if we check, Hinduism, and there's some Buddhist. Basically, Buddhist and Hinduism are both in the same religious group, which I believe are Indian. So therefore you can arrange a marriage between the Buddhists and Hindus. The same applies for the Christian faiths of Catholicism and Orthodox. Those two guys can get married with each other. But you can't, like, say, have a Christian get married to a Muslim because their ways are just too different. Not only that, but also the opinion penalty for different religion and being heathens is quite hard to get over. So we need to take a look at Assam now, because these people are the people who we are going to go and annex next. So we're going to start off by fabricating a claim on the province of Darang. Now this claim will take a while to go through. We can hover over this icon here and it tells you the progress that you've made. We are also constructing a core in Koch. This means once it's cored, we don't have to worry about any, well, more revolt risk, and we also get rid of our overextension. Now in terms of where my short-term goals lie, I want to expand into Assam, and I also would like to expand into Bengal. Because we cannot get a royal marriage with them, it will be impossible for us to manage to inherit them. So what we're going to do is we're going to fabricate a claim on Dhaka, and we're going to wait for that to happen. Now it looks like we have revolts who have popped up in Koch. If we click on this, we can see our revolt risk is 7.8%. That means that there's a 7.8% chance per month of a revolt risk. It looks like, oh man, we did actually lose that battle, which is why I wanted that core to go through fast. So we have an alliance from Pegu. If we take a look at Pegu, they like us because we're the same religion as them. Who are their enemies? They dislike Shun, Lana, and Ayutthaya. So because we dislike Shun, do we actually dislike Shun? We do. Because we dislike Shun, and Pegu also dislikes Shun, they think forming an alliance would be good. Now, unfortunately for me, I'm not sure if that would be a good idea, because they'll also call us into their war with, for instance, Lana and Ayutthaya. And Pegu, I do not think are actually that strong. There's this great thing called a ledger, which tells you information about all the countries that you know of. So we can go into armies and we can sort by who has the most men. As you can see, and as was probably guessed, Ming has the most. They have 5,700 troops, or 57,000. There is a huge difference. Followed by Japan with 19,000, so that's a huge difference between first and second place. If we go down to Pegu, it says they have 8,000 men. Now we are actually quite weak, so because most of our men just got killed, we'll probably be near the bottom of the list. So where are we? We are Tibet. We are here. We currently have 2.8 thousand men. That's simply because our troops just got decimated by a rebel uprising. So about this alliance with Pegu, do I want this? I mean, I don't expect to expand down Pegu's way, and they will be helpful if we ever go to war with the Shan, or Shun, as I think it's properly called. Let's see, Pegu, how much does Pegu's interests lie with my interests? I would like to expand into Shun if we can, because I'd really love that sea province called Arakan. However, that would give me a border with Pegu. And that means that they'll hate me, they'll probably break their alliance as soon as I get that, because of border friction. So let's just ally with them anyway. We can help them expand into Shun, and we can also potentially expand into Shun as well. We're also getting a royal marriage, so given time we might be able to inherit them. So here we go, Shan has declared war on Lana. So Shan is now at war with everything red that you see here. You can also see they're allied with Lanzhong, and they look like they are in a favourable position. Between Shan and Lanzhong, Lanna is almost completely surrounded. Dai Viet can go and distract Lanzhong, while Shan just go in and mop up all the provinces. Now about these rebels, unfortunately we can't really do anything about these guys. The only thing we can do is we can send our troops to go into Bhutan and wait for them to attack us so that we have a favourable advantage. Now, since we don't have enough money, we are going to take out a couple of loans. As I mentioned earlier, loans in this game aren't bad like most people might think they are. Loans, you can take like up to 20 loans and still run just fine. We have gained the Conquest CB against Assam because we have finished fabricating a claim on their province. As soon as my men get to Bhutan, we can wait for these guys in Koch to finish their siege, and hopefully they'll move down into the neighbouring country of Bengal, and we'll have Bengal deal with them. Now they are also getting their own countries attacked because they have Hindu nationalists, I believe, Hindu rebels. So we have also gained the Conquest CB against Bengal. Now that is purely in response to the claims that we have fabricated. So if we click on the county of Dhaka, in this list here of calls and claims, we can see that Tibet has a claim on this province. So let's take a look at these rebels. Unfortunately, these rebels don't seem to want to move. Okay, so let's combine our men. Let's see, do they have a general? They have a 112 general. We have a 203. So, can we scare them out? We cannot scare them out, so let's just... Oh! I thought we were going to lose that battle then. We can just go and attack them. Now the reason why we might be doing so badly against just mere rebels is not only because we have quite a poor military, but also our land morale is at 2.3. I wonder if that is low. I honestly have no idea really. Is there a way to check in the ledger? National armies? No. Armies? Can I sort by morale? No. Oh well. I don't believe there is a way. So one way to deal with revolts is you can click on this province as soon as we siege it back. In fact, let's go and click on somewhere that we actually control. In this revolt risk section over here, you see we can click this button. Well, we can't click this button, but this button exists. It's called harsh treatment, and that basically spends some of our military points and lowers the revolt risk by a decent amount. Another way to help suppress rebels spawning is to place troops on rebellious counties. Having friendly troops in the area really harms the morale of the rebels, and it makes them less likely to spawn simply because, well, they have troops staring at them in their face. So we have just had two events pop up. Let's read this one first. Growth of cities attracts serfs. It seems as if serfs are moving out of the provinces and aim to earn a living in the capital. This is creating turmoil in the country, but our capital may benefit in the long run. So this is actually one of those mediocre events. If we hover over these two things, we can see what rewards we'll get. So we have to accept this. We gain 1 base tax in Kwamdo, which is our capital. We lose 1 tax in Bhutan, and we lose 1 stability. Now that didn't sound too bad until it got to the lose 1 stability part, because 1 stability is, I'd probably say about 100 admin points, and admin points are kind of hard to come by. Alternatively, we can click the serfs belong to us, which increases the... sorry, it decreases the cost of stability, but it also decreases the morale of armies, which means our armies are more scaredy cats than anything. So if, let's see, if stability, does that improve morale? No, it doesn't. I was thinking, if stability improved the morale of our armies, we could just offset the morale of armies penalty from this event just by increasing our stability. Either way, what would I like to do? You know, let's go and gain 1 base attack in Kwamdo. So our stability has decreased, and this causes a bunch of negative effects. So let's just go and boost stability, and you know, let's boost stability once more. Now we can send a missionary to go and try and convert the province of Koch. Just as what was this place called? Just as our vassal Kachar would be doing, if they were smart. You send a missionary there to change the religion of the people in the province to match the state religion. So this other event that we have is unique to noble republics. Noble republics sort of like elect rulers based on their terms, and you get a choice between having a bureaucratic leader, a diplomatic leader, or a military leader. Now we've gone through this before. I would want to... I think we've gone through this before. I can't remember. But I would like to get a military... I'd like to get a military candidate. Actually, can we... Let's go and keep this guy for now. If you keep a guy and you have a noble republic, if you keep him for another term, all of his monarch stats increases by 1. So as you see, before he was a 222, now he's a 333. Now that directly correlates to how much these values up here are increased by. So it looked like we have another rebel uprising. We have to unfortunately extend that loan. But let's go and see what we can do. This trade map here tells you all the trade nodes nearby. They tell you a whole bunch of information. This here tells you the trade power we have there. The higher the trade power, the better. This value here tells you how much value is in the trade node. And this icon here tells you if you have a merchant there or not. Now, we have to switch between this map mode, which you've probably seen me use quite often, and this map mode to see if we actually have any provinces in other trade nodes, which we do. We have 1 province in Bengal, which actually we have 2 provinces in Bengal. And let's see, where are we when it comes to our trade power? We are we not even on the list? Oh, we're down there. We have 2.52 trade power. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually recall our merchant from here. We are then going to select transfer... Should we... No, let's not. Instead, we're going to be collecting from this trade node anyway, because our capital province is in this trade node. We automatically collect money from this trade. Sending a guy there to collect trade, what that will do is it'll just increase your trade efficiency. Now what I would like to do is I'd like to send 2 merchants, one to this node, the Hangzhou trade node, and the other one to Beijing trade node, and just send them to go and transfer trade power. If you can see these arrows, they actually point in the direction where the trade flows. So if we had a merchant here, we can tell them to push trade down towards the Yumen trade node. And that would be great, because that means that our trade node would become more valuable. and we'd collect more income from there. Now unfortunately, our trade range isn't that great. Unable to send merchant must be in range. So this trade node is 302 units away from us, and we have a trade range of 200. So unfortunately we can't do that. Can we go into Canton? No. How about Kashmir? No. So unfortunately our trade is kind of useless right now. Let's just go and select collect from trade here. That's the best we can really do right now. As you can see, we're taking quite a few loans out every other month, pretty much. Now that's because we are actually losing quite a bit of money. So, in order to remedy that, let's kick one of our advisors. Advisors cost money per month. And now we're making 0.49 ducats a month. Now that isn't particularly great. Let's actually go and select harsh treatment. It will cost 20 military power, but to reduce the revolt risk down to 0. Harsh treatment gives a -10 modifier to the revolt risk, so these guys won't revolt up until that modifier goes away. Now as for what to do next, if we take a look at Bengal, Bengal have 8 troops. They are also allied with Delhi and Malwa. Now I would like to get an alliance with Ming if we can. So relationships, let's go and improve relations, and let's hope that they'll want an alliance soon. We have 40 in favour, but we have -57 against us. This means we need to have 58 in order for them to accept an alliance. Now I really don't think we can do that, but if we offer them military access, which they don't want, dang. Okay, never mind. So here's another event. The Assamese Revolt. The ongoing suppression and exploitation of the Assamese minority has finally reached its boiling point. The citizens of Koch have decided to take up arms against the oppressors. So we can either suppress the rebels, 5 nationalists rise up in Koch, and we get a modifier in the county of Koch, which increases revolt risk and decreases manpower. Alternatively, we can get a modifier for our whole country, which decreases our tax and increases the cost of stability, and we lose 30 ducats. Well, since we can't really lose much more money, and the other things in the let's try and negotiate thing don't sound particularly nice, let's just go with the less worst one and select suppress theft. So now they have spawned. They are taking lots of problems. Oh no. So now the revolt risk is back, and we're probably going to have to fight people some more. We still can't get an alliance with Ming. Let's see, do we have enemy of enemy? We don't. Enemy of enemy is a... Oh man, what do I want? Enemy of enemy... Let's use the admin. Enemy of enemy is when you have rivaled a nation that these people have also rivaled. So for instance, these guys have rivaled Dai Viet. Well, they've rivaled Dai Viet, but they have also rivaled Ryukyu. So if we go and rival Ryukyu, we lose 10 diplomatic points, but we'll start getting a positive opinion modifier with Ming. This modifier goes up to, I believe, 25. So if we can keep this if we can keep Ryukyu as an enemy, eventually Ming will want an alliance with us. Unfortunately, Ming thinks we're kind of untrustworthy, which is quite unfortunate. Let's go and check our relationship with the Orit Horde. They are still hostile to us, so let's go and improve relations with them. Can we get a royal marriage with them? No. Why? They're hostile towards us, of course they are. Let's see what Chagatai thinks of us. They don't like me. Hostile relations. Oh, okay, now we can actually go and repay some of our loans. So let's go and do that. That gets rid of the interest we've been paying for several years. Some bit. As you can see, we are now paying 0.06 ducats a month, which is like 10% of what we're actually earning per month. Now let's take a look at our missions. Form an alliance with Ming. Yeah, let's go and do that. I really want an alliance with Ming so that we know we won't get attacked by Ming. And we have them as a very strong ally. Let's see, neutral attitude towards Tibet. Maintain the diplomat. Will you want... No, you still don't want access. Dang. So how can I get these guys to like me? There are other things I can do to improve their relations with us. For instance, I can go into economy and I can send them a gift. So we have another event. Peasants typically had no voice, but they could occasionally gain access to the monarch and ask for redress. Sometimes these requests for redress would be directed at the local lord, who was perceived to be violating the peasants' rights. Stepping into override, a noble local authority was a very drastic step. So we can either accept this petition, lose 25 prestige, or we can get more peasant revolts. You know what, peasant revolts are fun. Let's go and get more peasant revolts. Fortunately it's only 2 stacks, so chances are we're going to win. Unfortunately, that also means the likeliness of another revolt happening in Koch is quite severe. Fortunately, the revolt risks back down to 0. And if we take a look at Bengal, Bengal are allied with Delhi, royal marriage with Bengal. Delhi, are you... No. I was hoping Delhi would get into a war with the Timurids, and then we could go and attack Bengal when they have no men. If we check to see how well their war's going, they are actually losing their war. Let's see. Bengalese conquest of Bihar. So they are after... What? What are they after? Bihar. Where is Bihar? Bihar. Yeah. I don't think that's the right Bihar. Ah, there we go. So Bengal are attacking Jaunpur. Can we get... No, we can't get relationships up with Jaunpur. And none of those guys either. Let's see if we can... We can't get a relationship with Ayutthaya. They are actually leading a personal union over Sukhothai, which are these guys. Now, personal unions, we want a personal union. I'll tell you more about those when the signal for it pops up here. So, let's just finish repaying some of our loans, wait for our manpower to replenish. We do not want a peasants' war, because that typically breaks countries. And I think that'll do it for this episode. Thank you for joining me. You have been watching Wynn Playing Games. I have been Wynn. I'll see you next time. Take care.